Okay, so just a real quick video going over some screenshots that were released of in-game for Diablo 4. Now, during the BlizzCon announcement, there was a gameplay trailer, which looked amazing. Really glad to see the art style they're going for, as well as the cinematic trailer, which is just fantastic. I've probably watched it about 5 times already. Anyways, what I was really waiting for is that they did announce that Diablo 4, there is a gameplay segment on the floor, so people can play it. So what I was really interested in seeing is some in-game user interface screenshots. Now, these screenshots are provided by Saint Vicious, who is a member of the Team Liquid there. So this is his Twitter. He's the one that originally came out with these screenshots. Just something that I've been very much interested in seeing, so let's fire them up. So the first one is going to be kind of, like I say, this is definitely about you looking at the user interface. Let's zoom this in a little bit. I'll zoom it proper. And sorry, I don't have time to do any editing, so this is kind of a rough cut video, so my apologies about that. But first, let's take a look at the inventory. Now you'll notice that everything is the same size, very much in like Diablo 3. Everything is just a single container size that fits everything. Now what I noticed right away was the utility underneath. So he has a couple of different potions by the looks of it. So like in the other previous Diablo 3, potions are basically one button. Makes sense, nothing new there. We kind of figured they'd be going that way. But I guess if you do get different potions, you can drop them in there to do something a little bit different. I couldn't say. Maybe there's probably a button that can actually cycle between them, possibly. That's just my guess. But let's take a look at the inventory slots. So you got our typical meat and potato kind of stuff. We got our helmet, chest, gloves, pants, and the boots. And it looks like he's wielding a two-handed staff, as you can see here. It looks like he's got an actual slot for the potions. So yeah, like I kind of suspect that you can press a button to cycle through what your utility is going to be. Amulet and the 2 rings, that all makes sense. Looks like there's different grades. Now, yeah, you got your usual blues. It looks like he's got quite a few yellows in there. And then the reds, obviously I can't use. But anyways, let's move on from that. Now going back into the bottom left user interface, we see the usual mana regeneration, health pool. There's our quick slot for the potions, our skills 1 to 4, and a left and a right click. And then there's also, now I believe this number, there is a 20. I'll see if I can bring that up a little bit better for you. Now there is a 20 in the bottom corner here. Now, and I'm pretty sure next to the hotkey C. And I'm pretty sure that the 20 is just relating to that he's level 20, and C is usually for character. That'll probably bring up his character panel. Ooh, it looks like there's even a savage mythical something blue staff on the ground there. Anyways, okay, so before we go on to the next one, a couple things left. There's a bit of a timer, 21 seconds. Now I'm not sure what that would be counting, if it's a countdown or just counting up, couldn't say. But looking at the rest here, it looks like we do have some kind of baseline preliminary stats. Level 20, attack, defense, and life. So just some very basic metrics there to get to start in. It looks like there are some tabs on the top as well. Character, skills, and talents. So let's move on to the next one. So now this is actually going over the skills tab, which is great. This is what I really wanted to see, is how the abilities are set up. Now it looks like these skills are set 2 keys. You can see that there is a left click for the basic, right click that says spirit. So I'm sure these are probably all different. Even the title is different per character. Now number 1 hotkey looks like it says defensive. 2, I think that says wrath. 3, it looks like it says companion. And 4, I think it says utilities. I could be wrong. But looking at, so utilities, I can't really focus on what that could be. Companion, looks like he's got 2 wolves, and as you can see on his character here, he does have a cute little pet wolf sitting there, so very nice. Wrath, really not sure what that could entail. It's been a long time since I've played Druid as Diablo 2, so if when I go back to Diablo 2, definitely gonna be playing the Druid, that's for sure. Defensive, looks like something with the bear attack, again, spirit. Oh, there's, that's a very, actually, these look very representative of some of the Diablo 2 skills. So I'm gonna be going back and playing the Druid, that's for sure. And the left click. So it looks like they're definitely trying to tie the skills to specific buttons. That makes it very a lot more intuitive for console players, which they did for Diablo 3. Even though you could unset that and kind of change it up, they might be restricting it here, which, like I said, is very much more intuitive for console players. But anyways, I think that's about it for the skills tab. Anything else? Points available. So, okay, so with skills, it looks like there are points to allocate as we level up. Thank God for that. That was probably my most disappointing thing with Diablo 3 was just how the skills changed every time you leveled up and you actually weren't allocating any points to anything. That was always such a bummer for me, but just my personal taste. So it looks like they do have points that you allocate in the skills tab. So I love seeing that. Thank God. Okay, moving on to the next one. Now I'll come back to that screenshot because I wanted to move over to this one since it still kind of carries over the rest of the user interface. We are looking at talents now. Now, right away, reminiscent of the skill trees that we would see in previous, more so I should say Diablo 2. But now what I suspect, so it looks like there's points to allocate. So maybe every time you level up, you get 1 skill point, 1 talent point. Couldn't say, just speculating. But what I imagine that these, the difference between the talents points and skill points is skills are the actual abilities, and talents, I would assume, are passives as well as something that may alter an ability or just buff it up. I'm really just guessing. But what I'm really happy to see is that they at least do have points that you are earning and allocating as you level up. So to, you know, so they got to bring the theory craft back. They got to build, you know, when you're trying to choose what type of build you want to do for a druid. That's just something I really missed from Diablo 2 going into Diablo 3, but Diablo 3 kind of carried that over by the end game gear. But anyways, not here to talk about Diablo 3. So even, and it looks like at the end point, maybe you can choose one or the other. That's what I would assume, that when you get to the entry of any of these, can I zoom in a little bit more? I should be able to. Yeah, it looks like you get to choose one or the other. I'm just guessing, though. I could be totally wrong. You could be able to get both of them, but that would kind of definitely set characters apart depending on what end game skills they get there. And again, there's that Savage Mythical Staff. Okay, so that actually gives us a good little look at the user interface from character skills and talents. It looks like there's only the 3 tabs, so that makes it pretty simple. Now let's go back to the last screenshot that I had. This guy fighting, now what is this? Shava the Pestilent. Now, I don't know my Diablo lore very well. I've enjoyed the games, just like a lot of us, Diablo 1, 2, and the very polarizing 3. So I don't know a Shava. That doesn't ring any bells. I don't remember fighting this, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Now, one thing I do notice is that it does look like people are playing online. We have a bunch of name headers over characters here, so I would assume this is an online game. It actually looks like, let's get a zoom in, because it looks like there's quite a few people in one game. If I could be, Imperius 43, Tyrell 43, Dario 43. I wonder what that. So maybe 47. So they seem like online header names, but man, please correct me if you think it's something different. Drop something in the comments there. Got some stats. Looks like some gained rally cry and some kind of passive boost there. Couldn't really say. But I thought it was interesting because it definitely does look like these people are playing online. Well, I shouldn't say online. I should see, because this is obviously at the BlizzCon, so they're playing, you know, LAN or online, whatever it may be. But it looks like there's a lot of them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like there's 2 there, 9, 10. It looks like there's 10 people in one game here. That would be pretty goddamn epic. And apparently they are bringing back some PvP as well. So anyways, that's just a quick look at a few screenshots going over the user interface, which is one of the things I was most curious about in this game. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more popping up on the internet, so check it out. And if you haven't seen the gameplay trailer or this amazing cinematic trailer, man, do yourself a favor and check it out, because this game, man, I love the art direction they're taking this in, and it's giving me some hopes after, you know, what was up with Diablo 3. Anyways, leaving it at that. Thanks for checking out the video. Hope that was helpful. Maybe I might scroll through a little bit more here. Make sure I've checked everything out. Let's see, because there's a lot of just basic boots. You know, there's nothing that's really jumping out. A couple of staffs by the looks of it. Health numbers. I mean, nothing that I can really derive out of the skills anymore. I don't know the druid class that well. I haven't played them, God, probably in about 4 or 5 years. Again, looking at the talents. Yeah, no, couldn't say. That timer I'm really not sure about. It looks like it's at 24 seconds, and then the previous, there was one that says 21. So the person that's, that's playing, you know, he might only be able to play for a certain amount of time, so it could really be limiting him for that. But yeah, other than that, couldn't say. Looks great. Looks great. Super excited. Okay, leaving the video at that. Hope that was helpful. Lots of content going to be popping out on there for this. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys.